Hey guys, it's a new week. That means reset, that means rewards, that means cash for those people who are, in the top 100 or so, right? But today we are going to talk about allocating jellies. And shout out to Tweezy who made a suggestion that I do this one because he said a lot of people are like hesitating who to give 300 jellies to, right? And so yeah, all right, I'll do that. By the way, if you guys have suggestions or you want me to do a certain content that concerns Kuni crossworlds, feel free to tell me on the comment section. I will check them out, and if it's possible for me to do it, I will do it. But before that, I would like to talk about just a little bit what is about to come in the game, and that will bring us here just quickly in the dev notes. Let me just address this one very quickly. The episode Eve, which means what we are getting at right now, has gotten many of you excited for this new update. Let me just tell you, Netmarble, this is so not true. This episode Eve has gotten many of us quitting, right? Not me, but a lot of people who are playing the game has quit because it is really, really boring and dry for the past 2 weeks. Really, it is hard. I've mentioned this in the last video, but man, just to reiterate, it is tough. So we saw this girl. I actually find this girl quite hot, so I like that one. New mounts, familiars. I am a rogue, and I would like to tell you, guys, the rogue has been shitty when it comes to costumes. Please put out a costume that is worthy of wearing, right? Like this one. I like this one. This is a what is this? A Destro. This is the best costume, I would say, for Destro, right? So I like wolves. Him being like a werewolf here. This is like the best costume by far in for the Halloween event, right? This is actually quite nice as well for the engineer. First time we are seeing something that is not so cool. I mean, maybe for you, but for me, the swordsman and the witch costume is kind of meh. Right, so there we go. New mount, which is something that I will not get, especially how the game is struggling right now. Save your money, just temporarily. Not yet. Especially when we get to the bottom of this, you will know why. Right, so Aurora links. I will get to that later on because it's Monday now, and I still, if you look at the Discord of the game, there's still no mention of having a maintenance this Wednesday, which is usually when the maintenance happens. And usually when there's a big maintenance coming, they announce it early, but maybe they announce it at the last minute again. If you remember, like the last maintenance, they did it on Thursday. So what are you doing, Netmarble? You were late with the maintenance, so maybe these guys are getting lazy now that they got a lot of money from us, right? So there's still no word on the maintenance on Wednesday, and I am a little concerned if this week there's still no update. I am scared that we might lose half of the players in this game. So I really do hope that come Wednesday there will be a maintenance and the new episode comes out, the Halloween episode that a lot of people are waiting for. Not excited about the episode Eve at all. This is like shit, right? So I hope the episode comes out very, very soon, and soon being Wednesday, and so that we can still retain some of the players that is still playing right now. If you're watching this, you're probably one of them. Next, the newbie system. I'm not going to go through this in detail, but basically they're just going to help out the newbies be stronger faster. But let's be honest here, it's really hard to be a newbie here, especially for those who are vying for the familiar arena, because the strongest familiar currently is Toko, which we got, like all of us who have been playing for a long time. We got him for free. Easy to 8-10 him during that time. Now that you can't get him as of yet. In the future there will be, but as of the moment, not yet. So it will be quite a struggle for you in the familiar arena. And so yeah, like this is probably one of the games where it's really hard to be a newbie at. Okay, like especially like there's gonna be a power creep eventually, but having like a lot of people having the overpowered familiar for free, Toko. Like some people would also consider Sorbor, but yeah. So that being passed already, the newbies cannot get them as of the moment. That will be a huge struggle, and so as a newbie, like to those people who have asked, and I've done some tests on this, if you are going to start the game without a Toko, if you're not a whale, might as well just buy on the black market. A lot of people, by the way, are selling on the black market, so it's easy to get. So there we go. Other changes and improvements. So Field Boss Season 3 is starting, so I guess they're gonna increase the strength of field bosses. I hope that they put out new field bosses so that more rewards can be had. And then lastly, and this is by the way the most disappointing out of all of them, so strengthened response against the use of hacks unauthorized programs. Let me just read this to you. We'd like to share with you our current status against the use of hacks unauthorized programs. Now, a lot of people have voiced their concerns about people using cheat in the Lava Valley, and this is possibly the main reason why a lot of people have been quitting the game, especially the whales. Like, it's very disappointing if you are a whale, you are spending a lot of money in the game, and then someone can just use a hack, cheat their way into getting a lot of money in the game. That is very disappointing, and so I am not surprised that people are quitting, especially the whales. And so I really hope that the game, like Netmarble, should do something drastic in this. And reading what they will do, disappointing. So please know that players who are using hacks in Lava Valley will be further sanctioned. Further sanctioned? You mean you're not gonna ban them? They're just gonna get sanctioned. So what this means is they are sanctioning currently those players who are using a cheat, but that means they're not really removing them completely. And then now, knowing that this is actually the reason why a lot of people are quitting the game, they will just increase the sanctions. They're not really gonna ban them completely. Additional restrictions? Are you kidding me? As such, please refrain from using unauthorized programs, as heavier restrictions may apply. Oh, come on, man. You should ban these people who are using cheats. Like, even if they are whales who are using cheats, I mean, I get it. You want to protect your cash cow, but these people are actually killing your other cash cows. You're probably alienating 60% of your player base just to, accommodate the 2% who are maybe spending money but still using a hack. So I would rather you remove those 2%. Like, even if they are giving you money, if they are maybe whales, still it is. Are you greedy that you have to get all of them? Like the 2%, you don't want to lose the 2% because they are spending some money, and then if even if they are using a cheat, you are not gonna ban them. You are still gonna let them play just with some restrictions. This is crazy. So this is very disappointing, and I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this would be disappointed as well and would share the same sentiment. And so that is the reason why we are focusing here on the Familiar Arena, because as I have said in one of my replies, Familiar Arena is probably the content that is clean. So meaning this is something that cheaters cannot cheat on. Hopefully that continues to be the case, because if in the future that also gets infested by cheaters, well, it's time to move on. But anyway, that's for what's to come in the dev note. And just if anyone from the developers hears this, I'm sure they won't. They want to say they listen to us, but it seems like it seems like they're not. If they are, you guys are very disappointing. I hope you do something to make us think otherwise. Otherwise, the game will die sooner than like the Korean version of the game is still ongoing, right? And it's been more than a year now. In this game, we just had the 100-day anniversary, and it seems like the game is about to die. Come on, guys, we gotta step up. Now let's get to the jelly allocation, and I will do this very quickly because I think some of them are just obvious answers, and possibly you just want a confirmation from me, right? And by the way, I'm only going to do the 4-star non-rares, okay? Because basically for the 3-star, let me just tell you, if you are going like, if you want a 3 plus 300 your 3-star familiars, it's totally fine because in the end, it's easy to enhance absorb them anyway. All right, it's not like a 4-star where if you enhance absorb them and then you lose it with a high awakening, it will kind of sting in the future if you eventually find a need for them in your team. But for the 3-stars, it's easy to acquire them, and so it's easy. Really, it's easy. Even if you plus 300 them, use them temporarily, and then enhance absorb them, you're not gonna feel bad at all, right? So we're only going to do the 4-star non-rares because with the rare ones, I wanna let's do that when Aurora Lynx comes out. But for now, let's only do the 4-star non-rares. Toko, obvious answer, plus 300, especially if you have him at 8, 9, 10 awakening. If lower than that, maybe not. Suryu, normally I would just give him 100, but if he's a mainstay in your team, it's okay to give him plus 300 jellies. It is now getting very much competitive in the familiar arena. Like a lot of the teams are getting to above plus 300 CP, right? So it will be okay to give him a plus 300 if he is a mainstay in your team, but plus 100 is also okay because he is a range type. Shimpaler is the same boat. Plus 100 is where I would go for, right? So that's the reason why I don't have them maxed because they're ranged. The only reason to give him plus 300 is to have a security blanket for when a Staghorn is in your opponent's side. But other than that, plus 100 is very reasonable because if there's no Staghorn, when your opponent gets to them, it's most likely a defeat anyway. And so yeah, plus 100 would be the efficient one. But if you plus 300 him, especially if he's a mainstay in your team, that's also okay. Dinosaurus, I would hesitate a bit, but in theory, he would need plus 300 to be effective in current state of the familiar arena. A lot of monsters are getting strong. I've mentioned this in the past. I have been thinking of using a all dark familiar, right, in the familiar arena. And so if you're watching this and you also want to prepare for the future, having Dinosaurus at plus 300 will not be a waste. So that's okay. Bird, definitely he is okay to plus 300 as I have done here, but in theory you really don't need him at plus 300. Plus 200 is okay, is safe. All right, so giving him a plus 300 jellies, meaning giving him plus 100 attack jellies, in theory that wouldn't really increase your win rate than him having just plus 200. But if you want to, it's okay. I mean, if he's a mainstay and then you really don't want to, or you have a lot of plus 100 attack jellies, then it's okay to give it to Bird. I gave him plus 300 because he's a mainstay in my team. But, as I have said, not really necessary to give him plus 100. Plus 200 is perfectly fine. Might... Yeah, I would say give him plus 300 because eventually you will have the need for him. He really is like the CC, because CC is very important in the familiar arena. And so I wouldn't hesitate giving him plus 300. It's okay. Although I am not using him, but eventually if I get the chance to, because I spent a lot of my my jellies on this guy to test him out, and that turns out is a fail. Probably just enhance absorb this guy. But if you're asking me, because the point really of doing this is to prepare for the future, and so I would give my plus 300 no question if you have the resources to do that. So I'm just saying it's not going to be a waste. Same with Ouroboros. Ouroboros is kind of in the same boat, but I guess since might in terms of the CC might goes earlier. Like aside from Ebontorix, might is the next fastest guy to do ACC. I would be more hesitant to put it on Ouroboros than to Might. So I give it like 10 of 10. And then for Ouroboros, it would be 8 of 10. Right? So yeah. But it'll be worth it if you give them plus 300 for sure. Sorbor, definitely plus 300 if you are using him. My case, I am not using him at all because that's not my team build. Okay, so I don't use any jellies on him. So if you plus 300 him, that's totally okay. And he needs that anyway. And so definitely you should plus 300 this guy. This guy needs just plus 200. Doesn't really need like another plus 100 attack jellies unless he is a mainstay in your team where like you never are going to replace your Ebontorix in your team. So it's okay to plus 300 him. But in theory, you only need plus 200. Disbelief. In preparation for the future, I would give him a plus 200, right? Maybe plus 300 if you are really thinking of using him, and especially if you have all the toys needed. I would probably, because I really see a lot of potential in Disbelief, that I would say giving him a plus 300 wouldn't be wasted. Like in preparation for the future, it wouldn't be a waste. Splisher, no. I do see a lot of people now using him, maybe because they want a water familiar that is a melee type, but really I don't see him being very useful, and so this is based purely on my opinion and what I have experienced in the familiar, like playing in the familiar arena for more than 2 months now. So it's been, I think, 3 months. So I would go against giving Splisher any jellies at all. Yeah, so no. Thumblemore, honestly, you don't need to give him a jelly at all because he is a range type. So if you are planning to do a team that is just to milk the clock, win by running out of time for your opponent in defense, then if you have him at high awaken, he is usable in that regard. Him together with Toko, unbelievably strong, but he doesn't really need a jelly. So yeah, you don't have to. If you want to prepare for the future, if you want to use him, you don't have to. You can wait because really he doesn't really need it. He's a range type. If anything, you can give him plus 100 jellies. That's it. Plus 100 being attack. Okay, so but yeah, you don't need to. Penguicorn, the same boat. Just because he is he's a range type. Unless you want to put him in the front line, then go ahead and give him some jellies. But he doesn't need it. Plus 100 would be okay. Hoggoblin is I don't know. I don't think I will give him, like, if anything, I would probably give him plus 200 jellies because he is going to die very, very quickly. You are basically, if you are going to use him, you're basically going to use him for the skill, just 4 seconds, and basically to cancel the healing of Toko in the first part. And so since he is not going to last very long in battle, I wouldn't give him plus 100 jellies. If anything, I'll just give him plus 200 jellies. So yeah, in preparation for the future, whatever it is, don't give him plus 300 jellies. That would be a waste. Only plus 200 would be very efficient. Okay, this guy Boogie doesn't really need jellies because his skill doesn't really need the high attack or anything. He's ranged, so doesn't need defense. So no, don't waste your jellies. I guess that's it. So that's all for the 4-star for now. And then next maybe I'll do the rare ones when Aurora Lynx comes out. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to be quick. I don't know how long this will be. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really do hope, for the sake of all of us who are still playing the game, I do hope we get an update maintenance on Wednesday so that we can get on and get back to getting excited in the game by having the new episode. So there it is. Thank you guys. I will see you on the next one.